and thank you for watching the forum. And we are here. I'm your host, Ashley Tate, here with my co-host, Christy Largent, and we are here with Armando. I don't even feel like he needs an introduction, but it's Armando Mejorado, and he is the founder of Armando's Gallery House here in Reading.
Downtown Reading.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for having me here.
It's a very eclectic place, so it's kind of, there's so much to talk about today, so we're going to try to hit all the points.
We'll go for it.
Okay.
Can we start with what is Armando's?
Well, Armando's is an art gallery. It's a restaurant. We have a beer and wine lounge, so guests can just come in and relax. It's also a cabaret. You know, once a month we do a dinner and a show. You know, we've had circuses, we're working on burlesque, concerts, you name it. At least once a month we do a live dinner and a show.
And if you've ever been in Armando's, you know that like inside, I mean, there's like all kinds of tables and it's decorated beautifully, all types of art all around, just so eclectic and a lot of fun. And how often do you change that like decor?
Well, almost on a weekly basis. I change the menu every week. So like I was saying a minute ago, I haven't repeated a menu in over 3 years.
You haven't repeated a menu in over 3 years.
So it's the way your format is Tuesday through Saturday. You're open.
Wednesday through Saturday.
Wednesday through Saturday, and you have the same menu every night.
Every night for 4 days we do the same menu, and then I switch it up the following week.
So if you come one week, you can come back the next and have a completely different experience.
Restaurant. Yeah, okay. I've cooked every cuisine around the world, so it's it's become a different restaurant every week. That is something that a lot of our guests don't know is our menu. If you see our menu and you like it, you're vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, call us ahead of time. I will have a substitution for whatever the menu is. I don't put it on the menu, but our guests are starting to find out that I will tweak the menu for you. So
that is amazing. Now that is amazing. I will
really nice.
Totally be calling.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's like stuff you get on cruises and stuff, you know, where they'll like tweak the menu specialty.
I'm in the business to make people happy. So
oh my God.
Give us a call. I'll make sure you will.
Now, where does all of your art come from for the art gallery?
Well, most of the artwork on the main floor, which I like to call the gallery, and the dining room, is all my work. Downstairs, we have a separate gallery, and I showcase other artists. I've showcased up to now about 63 different artists. So I keep rotating the downstairs gallery every couple months.
Which is actually another really beautiful part of the whole thing, because downstairs it's kind of like couches and like chairs.
It's like a living room, a loungy man cave per se.
Man cave, what?
What is the gentleman's den? But we've had no gentleman in there yet.
Yeah, so we're going to change that.
So it's going to be like you can go and get a glass of wine and sit and visit with your friends.
Yeah, you can. Oh, sorry, I was going to say you can come in for dinner, or you can just come in and have a glass of wine. Don't even have to.
So we should describe where you are, because there's some activity that's been happening in downtown.
Oh yes. Well, I like to say that I'm in the heart of Reading. We're in the old downtown mall. What used to be across the street from the old Dickers building, which is being demolished at the moment.
Isn't it nice with that Dickers building gone? I mean,
completely open, a whole new view.
It feels, if you haven't been down on that mall area yet, you won't even believe it. It feels so open and lovely, and that's, I mean, you could add in your outside dining now that it's not just a passageway.
Oh no, I've definitely been talking about doing that and how to utilize that a little bit more because of the construction.
Because you're around the corner from the Hearth.
Yes, we're
so kind of like if you're trying to get a picture of where are you located, it's really
and down the street from Grace Place, is that right?
Yes, right down
the street. We're in the oldest brick building in town. So.
Wow, it's pretty cool. Now, what was your inspiration? How did you happen to start this?
Well, I guess survival. You know, it's my partner and I entertained for 20 years. Charity work. We cooked. Through
amazing parties.
And then after he passed away, I was in survivor mode. It's like, what do I do next? So I took the next year thinking about where my life was going to go, and I came up with the idea of turning everything we did together for 20 years into one business, the art gallery, entertaining, charity work. So that's why it's become a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And the interesting thing about that is you actually did bring that to fruition. I knew Gary before he passed, and his personality was so vibrant and just so exciting. You know, like when you're around him, he had a very magnetic personality, and he was an interior designer, right?
He was an interior designer, yeah.
And so it looks like he's there in everything. It really does.
Definitely, you know, he definitely inspired this. You know, it was sink or swim, and I decided to jump in with both feet. And not have the regret of not doing it. I'd rather have failed and tried than to not try it at all. So here we are. You know, it's
and like, who would think this would be a big thing in Reading? So how has that surprised you? I mean, you're very successful. You're busy all the time, and what is it like doing your kind of business in Reading?
Well, it's definitely been interesting. I have to, I guess, train us Reading folks.
Yes, that's right.
We're not used to doing what we're doing, so. People come in, give them an experience, they tell people, and more people come in. But no, I would say it's been a little bit challenging trying to let people know what we do on a weekly, daily basis that we're open. But
and that's
it's
just
working
business,
out.
And that's business in general.
Oh, that's business in general, yes.
And the other thing about Armando's gallery that some of you may not know is that actually you attract a lot of people out of town rather than in town, which is actually, I mean, you get people in town as well, but you're getting people from like anyone passing through on the 5, they look up on Yelp and they find him and looking for something new and different. And sometimes he has cabarets that are sold out all the time.
Yeah, most of our events, I try to promote them at least a month in advance. And those events usually sell out very quickly.
Yeah.
But we are open for dinner the rest of the week, but our events have become really popular.
So if someone comes to dinner on a regular weekday, what could they expect when they come?
Well, I like to tell all my guests I treat the gallery as my home. You know, you're coming to a dinner party, not a restaurant. So, you know, you come in, relax in the lounge, have a glass of wine. You know, I tell you to wind down from your day and mellow out. And when you're ready, come up for dinner. And at your time, whenever you're ready, we'll feed you. And give you an experience that you typically wouldn't get in other places. So.
Are you a fixed price menu?
How
do you do that?
We are pretty much. You know, I've learned how to do that over the years. You know, you come in because the menu is set. You got 3 different options. You can buy the whole dinner for $45, which includes all 4 courses. Or $65 includes all 4 courses, and I do wine pairings. So each course will come with a glass of wine, or you can order anything a la carte, or just come in for the artwork or a glass of wine.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
And generally, like the times that I've been there, you've had like a movie playing or some sort of something going on. I don't know, and the decor is always different. It's just if you're looking for something different when you're going to go out to eat and not just a normal, like, okay, here's a waiter and they're going to come. You know, there's personality, there's artwork everywhere, there's beautiful
that you
tables.
can buy, I guess. I'm guessing you can buy the art.
I've shipped in the last month or so probably about 5 different paintings to Canada, New York, San Jose, so people enjoy my work, and I sell it and ship it. So.
Amazing.
Good. So now I understand something's going to be happening with a movie company, or
there is. I've teamed up with a top dollar film production here in town. It's one of, I believe, the only film production company in town that produce movies, and we've teamed up together to show their premieres at the gallery. So we're going to be doing that at least 3 times a year, since they have a contract to put out 3 movies a year. We're going to release them at the gallery and bring a little bit of Hollywood to Reading.
I love it. I love it.
That'll be exciting. When is the fall or summer? Or when are you?
It's starting here in the summer.
In the summer.
In the summer we'll start showing. And then one of the things we decided to do with this project is create a charity and a scholarship. So whenever we sell tickets, we're going to be donating a percentage to kids to go to acting school. And we're going to guarantee them a walk-on role in a movie, and potentially, if they're good enough, other movie roles.
I love that.
Well, that's neat.
Yeah, full circle.
Yeah, very creative. It's a creative way of taking something that's already special but making it even more.
Well, yeah, you know, why not let others benefit from what we're doing? So I'm really excited about this.
So the funds that people come and pay to come watch the movie are going to go to that?
Yeah, when we start selling tickets to the movies, we're going to donate a percentage of that to the scholarship that we created, and then at the end of the year, we're going to give a scholarship out to a young kid who wants to go to acting school and put him in a movie.
Oh my god.
That's great.
Wow. Okay, so how long have you been doing this whole art thing? Because when I met you, you were already doing art. He used to go to parties and have the art there. People would showcase his art everywhere. So do you have like a website where people can see your art if they don't go into the gallery directly, or is it only in the gallery?
No, I do have a Facebook page with Armando's Gallery House on Facebook, and you can follow me through there and see all my artwork. So, but yeah, I've been doing art since I was 5 years old. I'm
my gosh.
self-taught. I now shown in about 33 different countries with my work.
Wow.
But in the last 4 years, I focused all the energy on the restaurant. So.
Wow. Now, where are you from? Where were you raised?
That's like the number one question I get. Why did I pick Reading, and why did I come to Reading? Well, Reading picked me. My dad worked for the railroad company, and he retired when I was 8 years old here in Reading, and here I am.
Oh, you've been in Reading since you were 8?
Since I was 8, yeah. So that's one of the things people think that, where did you come from? Nope, Reading picked me, and here I am.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And now you're changing
native.
it. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
You really are changing it. I mean, I think you're bringing a lot of culture to Reading that, they haven't previously had in the way that you're showing it.
Oh, no, definitely that was, when I first opened up, I did and doing what I know. But as the years went by, a lot of people tell me, you're doing something no one has ever done in Reading.
No, it's very
we're the
San
first of its
Francisco.
kind. And, first it was nothing like this in Reading, and nothing like this within driving distance, and nothing like this anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's completely starting something new.
So
in Reading.
you mentioned the food. Who cooks the food?
Well, I do the cooking. I do at times have sous chefs or prep chefs who help me out in the kitchen, but for the most part, they're my recipes, my cooking, and I enjoy being in the kitchen.
Wow. So artist, chef, entrepreneur.
Very creative.
Well, I tell people I'm a problem solver and I collect hobbies.
That's right.
Oh, that's
You do what you got to do to make
Yeah.
it work, right? He's like, saw a vision and you're making it happen, and I love it. Like, what would you recommend to someone who actually did want to start up a business here?
The biggest thing would have to be do your homework. It took me a year of planning before I even opened my doors.
Good job.
And then it took another 6 months of experimenting before I actually had regular hours, because I wanted to make sure all the glitches were worked out. And it actually benefited me, even though I was closed for 6 months and not making any money. I learned all the problems before they happened. So when I opened my doors, I was ready, and we've maintained a 5-star restaurant.
3 years.
3 years.
So Armando, tell us your website. People want to check more out about you.
Yeah, well, it'll be Armando's Gallery House on Facebook. And
on Facebook.
There's links there to our social media as well.
Perfect. Armando's Gallery House. We are going to be right back. We're going to take a real quick break, and we'll be back with the second half of our show. So don't go away.
Hi, and we are back, and we're with Ricky Rothmann, and he is the owner of Roots Juice Bar and Escape Reading, which is an escape room that's new to Reading, so it's kind of exciting. I don't know how you have both of these, like...
I know. Two huge businesses.
Yeah, exactly. And they're both totally separate. So we got to learn a little bit about you, Ricky. Like, tell us a little bit about your journey to both Roots and Escape Reading.
Yeah, for sure. So when I was 21 years old, I was working for Dutch Bros Coffee in town, and everybody knows Dutch Bros.
Yes.
Very loud, very fun place to work. I learned a lot there, and as I was going, I was kind of wanting more. I knew managing wasn't enough for me, and I wanted to step into this role of owning my own business. Entrepreneurship was definitely on my mind. At the time, I had met Mariah Zoll, my girlfriend. We met through Dutch Bros in the shop, and it was one of those love stories all over a cup of coffee. But she had juiced at home a lot. Her family juiced. Her mom actually introduced me to my first cup of juice, and when I tried it, I actually got to juice it. I had fun doing it, and I realized this is a healthy way to eat that was easy to do. And so as time went on, we just kept doing it at home, and all of a sudden my family was asking me to make juices for them. The owners of Dutch Bros were asking us to make juices for them. We had gyms in town who started jumping on board and having us deliver for their customers. Specifically, those were CrossFit.
What made you specific? Like, lots of people.
A lot of us juice, but I've never turned it into a business.
I know.
And that's something that's really cool about Roots is it was really customer driven from the beginning.
Yeah.
We never had this plan to go and open a juice bar. It kind of fell in our laps, and we did get really lucky there, but customers have always kind of driven us to take that next step and move forward. And so at the time, it was just people asking us to make them juice.
Yeah.
And once we started realizing that there was a demand for it, the whole fact that we knew we wanted to open a business, we started thinking, well, why don't we just open a juice bar?
Yeah.
Everybody's asking for it. Everybody wants us to do it for them as it is. So we started taking steps into that general direction. Doing things like Cool April Nights booths,
we went to
we went to Farmers Market. That's where we really landed our first big space where we were there every single week.
On Saturday morning at the
every
City
Saturday
Hall.
morning at City Hall. And we did that for a good 8 months every Saturday. But again, customers wanted more. So we joined the Sunday market. We started doing the Thursday market, and ultimately opening up our first location at Bocelli.
And that was inside of what, Country Organics?
Yeah, which at the time it was owned by Bob and Mandy Edmondson. So they had a 21-year-old guy come walking into their store and shake their hand and say, "Hi, I heard you guys are opening a organic market. We'd like to open a juice bar inside of it and join you and your 8 kids inside of your grocery store." So you can imagine how that conversation went. It was interesting, but they actually told us no. We walked away, and about 3 days later, they called us back and said, "We'd like to talk more about it. We're not sure that we want to say no." And about 75 days later, we opened the juice bar.
Oh my goodness.
So again,
a commercial juice bar.
Yeah, no kidding.
So what did you have to do to get like the equipment and stuff in there? Because you have to have all the juicers and
Yep. So they were already doing blueprints and stuff through City of Reading. They had a lot of that taken care of.
Okay.
We just added a few more outlets that we knew our juicers needed, and a wall. So that's all we had. We had $4,000. I asked my dad if he can loan me another $4,000. We actually opened our first store for $8,000.
What? That's impressive.
And we were able to pay my dad back in about 2 months.
Wow.
So we put
your juices
everything.
are good, so I mean.
We put everything we had back into paying him back and making sure that we were good to go. The whole time I was working at Dutch Bros still too. I was working night shifts there.
Oh my God.
Over at the 24-hour Churn Creek stand. So that happened for about another 6 to 8 months or so, until finally Roots was busy enough to where I could put my 2 weeks in and focus solely on the business.
And so that was after about 1.5 years. So you took your time, you did the research, you made some connections, and then you launched. And so now you're in this beautiful building right there off of, what is it, Churn Creek now, right?
Yeah, we opened our second location on Churn Creek. And we've been there for the last 2 years.
Yep.
And we're actually working on a third location downtown.
Oh,
And that's going to be that will be a drive-through, and we are going to launch some more food as well.
Oh, good.
Oh, dear.
So where are you on
Drive-through.
Churn Creek?
It's the corner of Dana and Churn Creek.
Oh, okay, good, perfect.
I don't know if you remember the old Blockbuster from about 10 years ago.
I don't.
Yep, long time ago.
Oh my gosh. That's pretty
great.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us, so now you had Roots Juice Bar, you're on your third location, which is incredible, within like less than 5 years.
Yep.
Right? And then you also opened Escape Reading. Now, how did that come about?
The whole idea of an escape room came from LA. Mariah and I, again, we drove down to LA. We went to go visit her sister, and her sister had a new fiance that we were meeting.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, new boyfriend that we were meeting, who later became the fiance.
Fiance, yeah.
And they had done an escape room. They were just raving about it. They wanted to come and show us one. So we drove down there. We went to one and just came out of it mind blown at how much fun it was.
Yeah.
So after we did that first room, we did another one in Sacramento. We went to Chico. We went up to Ashland, Oregon. We took our 5-year anniversary as a couple to New York. And we did a couple rooms in New York. On our way back, we stopped in Sacramento again because we wanted to do one more. And then we came to Reading. We were thinking, why don't we just do this? We have so much fun going around and doing these things.
Yeah.
It became.
So you did them for fun, not like as a business
No, not at
to see potential. Could we do this?
We had no idea we
was
were
just
going to
fun.
open one. This was just a huge. We had so much fun. Roots was growing at such a fast pace. We came to about 20 employees at Roots.
Wow.
And we were getting nervous. Managing people was something that we weren't trained for ever.
Right,
so
yeah.
20 people was a lot to handle, and the next step we knew it'd be close to 50 people. So we didn't want to make a jump like that.
So he thought,
so we
just manage
slowed
some
it
more
down.
people
Well,
and start another business.
that was what was so great about the escape room, was that everywhere we went, we noticed there was only one person working every time. And so it seemed like a very small business, a very close-knit group of people who enjoyed doing them, that always worked at them. And we thought that would be a smaller step than another Roots Juice Bar location, and we could slow it down, we could practice what we have, and be very good at it.
That's great advice for anybody starting a business or running a business.
Yeah, so I guess our 1 year break of expansion was expanding into a new business.
Right, I was like, yeah. I don't know if like that's necessarily the best advice, but it worked, right? And it's successful, and people rave about those escape rooms.
Yep.
So tell us where you are located.
Yeah.
We're over on Hilltop Drive, across the street from Bleachers.
Okay.
Next to C.R. Gibbs.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And we actually do have a mobile escape room opening in the next month.
Okay.
So we can do things like birthday parties. We can go to sober grad nights for high schools. We could be at pretty much any party with more than 10 people.
So by July, essentially.
Yes.
By the summer.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Summertime, mobile escape room. It's going to be a nuclear bomb room. You have to defuse the bomb.
Now, do those escape rooms, do you change those up, or do you create it and then it stays that way? And what does it take to create?
That's actually a really good question, because a lot of people think you can just go in and change these rooms pretty easily. It's not as easy as you'd think. It takes a lot of man hours and critical thinking, and not to mention you have to make these clues work. They cannot break down. So, because once these break down, I mean, it affects the customer.
Absolutely.
Now the customer has a horrible experience. We have to come into the room and we have to explain why this didn't work and move them on to the next clue and then leave the room. Which the whole point of these is once you go in the room, nobody bugs you again. You're in there you're on your own to get out.
Yeah.
So we try very hard to invest a lot of time into these rooms to make sure that they work perfectly. It's $25 a person, but it's an experience that you're not going to find elsewhere.
Yeah.
And so when we throw you guys in the room, everything now it's digital. So we're talking to you through monitors if you get stuck and you need a clue. And again, our goal is nothing will break in the room as you go, so you could always find your way out. So we don't plan to change ours until every 2 years. We think we'll change them.
Okay. Yeah. I was wondering how that setup is. So did you connect with other people in different areas, like to come up with that?
No, we sat down. It was Mariah and I. We sat down we took the building down to just the basic rooms, and it was an empty room. We looked around and we said, what could we put in here? Whether it's dressers, whether it's we maybe like cut a hole in the wall and put in a secret compartment.
I love that you guys are such a team. I really do. I love that.
What's that like working together?
Yeah.
It's fun. We have our moments. So
of course,
the escape room, we always talk about the escape room as the time that we argued the most, because we each would have different ideas.
Right.
But you go home at the end of the day, you clock out as much as you can as a business owner, and we go back to being a couple. But we try to keep work, and then our personal life, Have
Chris and Aaron Resner given you some tips on that? Because they are so successful as a business couple and a regular couple. Or do you just watch them?
We admire those guys. We look up to them a lot. And we've stayed close ever since we left Dutch Bros. It's been almost 5 years now.
Wow.
But that's just a great couple to look up to and watch, and
watch
they
them
set a great
grow
example for everybody else.
So what is one thing that you wish you'd known before you started all this as a young entrepreneur?
Oh man, there's hundreds of things that I wish I knew. That's one thing that I've learned the most, I think, is that as an entrepreneur, our new job is problem solving. So things come up every day, every week, every month that we never could have expected.
Right.
And we have to figure out how we're going to handle it, how we're going to solve those problems. And I would say just be ready for that. I wish I would have known that there was going to be so much of that.
Well, I think that's one of the main things, right? Like as an entrepreneur, it's all about testing and pivoting.
Yes.
Test, pivot, test, pivot.
Definitely.
Like, because I don't think sometimes people get up here and we always ask, like, what's your advice to a new entrepreneur? And really, I mean, you kind of just are saying, like, I'm going to do this and whatever comes my way, I'll deal with it. Like,
don't wait for it to be perfect, right? Just move and process it as you go.
That's right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
A great piece of advice would be knowing that there is no right way to do it. There is no right way. You got to just go for it and do it your way, and you'll notice that there are some minor things that you need to do to stay within codes or to stay but you learn those codes as you go. People are there to teach you. That's why we have the city, that's why we have our government.
So what is the best way? Obviously they're going to visit your businesses, but what's the best way for people to find out more about these two businesses? If
you go online, you can find us at rootsjuicebar.com. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Also the escape room is on Facebook and Instagram. It's escapereadingca.com. escapereadingca.com.
Yep.
Yeah. Good. Well, Escape Reading CA will help them stay in Reading, right? And they'll have some juice and then have dinner at Armando's.
And the other thing is you can always call for your juice.
There you
beforehand.
go.
Yes.
Call ahead.
Yes.
Okay, so much good stuff. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll be back next time right here on the forum.